the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Seattle Seahawks and the Minnesota Vikings on Thursday night primetime.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Tonight, on this fine Thursday night, we've got a good one in store between the Seattle Seahawks and the Minnesota Vikings. And hi again, everybody. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, when you and I were going through our final run-throughs at breakfast, we kept thinking tonight we're going to get to see a couple of very good passing offenses.
And we're talking about both sides having multiple receivers that can have an impact on this game. It's not just one guy that's going to make all the plays. If you take him away, maybe number 2, number 3, they make the big plays that impact who wins the game.
Joseph now ready to get this one started, and we are underway from Minneapolis. This will be fielded inside the 5. And able to get this out to the 25. As Seattle's offense comes onto the field, we'll see a 10-year veteran under center. Guy who broke into the league as a starter back in 2013, Geno Smith.
And there's a word that constantly gets thrown around with this guy when you talk to anyone in the building. Potential. They are sky high on what they believe he can grow into in the role of a starting quarterback. In addition, there are plenty around the league who think that as well. And years from now, he can still be leading this offense out.
Now a play fake, and it's Smith. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 for the 26. Geno now to throw. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first.
Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. If you give a quarterback enough room to escape, he can hit you for a big gain. You've got to give him a little more focus moving forward.
This is Rashad Penny. And it's a good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. But one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now they'll run it again with Penny. Down to about the 45.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You notice trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The Smith's throw into the hands of Fan. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 21. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
And I feel a little bit like a traitor as a former defender because that big man did not want to go down and refused to go down. If you're a defender and you don't get the right angle on a big tight end like him, he can run right through you like you're not even there, and he did a lot of that on that play.
Let's go now.
Now a first down throw. It's Smith. That's taken in by Eskridge, complete. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays. That's a great example right there to remind everyone of what a weapon he can be as a mobile quarterback, Charles. Nice play to escape the pocket and get his offense into the red zone with a first down.
And defensive coaches losing their mind on that play because they knew about his mobility coming in, and they preached all week long. If he gets outside the pocket, find receivers in your area and cover them. Otherwise, plays like that will continue to result.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's second and 10. Now Geno. And it'll be intercepted. And the Vikings are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game. And that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
The Vikings offense coming out for the first time, and in his 5th season leading this crew, coming off his 3rd career Pro Bowl nod, Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins is back for his 5th year as Minnesota's starter, tied for the longest streak of stability the team has had at quarterback since, get this, Fran Tarkenton in the late 1970s. He's been excellent during that time, making a 2nd Pro Bowl last season after 4,200 yards and 33 touchdowns through the air. The Vikings, though, still hovering right around 500 at the 8-win mark, hoping to see him lead a talented roster back to the postseason.
Throw caught there by Osborne. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Play action now. Cousins. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Boy, he shot in, CD, like he was out of a cannon from that linebacker position. And even though they had a running back in the backfield, no one could stop him.
Well, you certainly diagnosed that play perfectly because as fast as he got into the backfield, you're exactly right. The running back had no shot to get over and try and protect his quarterback, and a sack resulted.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. They'll set up to throw. Being chased out left. And this is going to be incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Taken right around the 44. 37 yards on the punt with no return. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. Now, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on the scoreboard, because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing his 2nd interception.
The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. They'll have very good starting field position here after the turnover as they search for the first points of the ball game. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he works makes it past the 30, almost to the 25. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here. 1st and 10. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they had 3 tight ends in on that set.
And these guys are punching really well. I use boxing analogies a lot. A lot of coaches have told me that when you line up to run the football, it's 10 fistfights along the line of scrimmage, right? You've got to win your share. These 3 tight ends, they almost always win their fistfights.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. That's a quick slant. He finds Adam Thielen. And they'll get him down inside the red zone at the 14. It's also a gain of 14. 1st down.
Adam Thielen, a terrific wide receiver and synonymous with Minnesota football. You go back to high school, college ball in the state, and now his 9th season with the Minnesota Vikings. 10 touchdown catches last season, makes a nice catch there.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Cousins now. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted.
It's 2nd down and 10.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
A 35-yard attempt.
The kick by Joseph is good, and the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So the defense able to force the interception, and the offense working their way to field goal range and able to get 3 out of it.
Yeah, and give them credit for that. They took the ball, maneuvered it downfield, and while they couldn't get exactly what they wanted, which was a touchdown, they did get 3 points out of it, so they paid off what the defense gave them. Both sides to be thrilled with that.
Out is their quarterback with his offense to take over once more. And he's been loose with the football early. Interceptions on the first couple of drives. As they start again here, we'll see if he can do better. 1st and 10. Throwing is Smith. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Gets in there and brings him down to the ground. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Throwing now is Geno. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
Those faster passes and going that fast. Any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you're throwing so hard, your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a good point there is they were able to connect. And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt. Certainly not what he wanted. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. To throw, Cousins. Open man is Osborne. He's got it. And he goes down, but not before getting us inside the 25. A big pickup of 38.
I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Cook up the gut. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
On 2nd and a yard, Cousins looking middle, and that's complete. And the Vikings are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the heart of a quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
Cook going to be stopped before he can get moving forward as he'll lose a couple back to the 5-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. They try again with Cook. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Throwing is Cousins. This is caught. A great job to hold him to just a yard there. Now it's 4th and goal.
We hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
4th down, field goal try coming, so Cousins is off, and on comes Greg Joseph from Minnesota. Joseph's got it, and that will make it 6-0. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell us end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it up. The tackle there by Patrick Peterson. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. A heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. Now Smith. He's got his tight end Fant. Touchdown! Noah Fant, 44 yards. And the Seahawks have tied the ball game with a chance to take the lead.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. It's up and good, so they go the conservative route instead, and it gets them a 7-6 lead here in the opening quarter.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession.
They've been settling quite a bit. They've been able to move the football some, but they've just been settling. That's one of the reasons they're down on the scoreboard.
I love that word you picked, settling, because nowadays in this NFL, you're thinking touchdown almost every drive because everything's so high-powered. Yeah, you'll take the field goal, but you always feel like you're leaving points out there when you don't put it in the end zone.
They'll be trying to put it in the end zone here on this drive. And despite a nice juke there, really good move, he only gets about a yard, and it brings up second down.
1 yard gain brings up second and 9.
Second down, they go right back to Cook.
Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off. You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. That's taken on the 25.
Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards.
And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now.
And that's caught inside the 30.
And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside. And he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's Smith.
That completes it again to Metcalf. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, Smith.
And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown.
A 15-yard touchdown grab. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
How about that touchdown, partner? If you blinked, you probably missed it. I looked away for just a second, and they were in the end zone.
Now Myers for the extra point. And it's up. It's good. Our score 14-6. The drive there only spanning 3 plays.
And it's DK Metcalf who finishes things off with a touchdown reception.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
From the 10. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
And now out comes Minnesota.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. His 4th catch already in this first quarter. It's a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, man. They're putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Cousins, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he will have the Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. After one, 14-6 our score on EA Sports. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2. As they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, Smith. And that throw behind his man. He missed him, incomplete.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd and manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. There he goes, left side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. They had 6 defensive backs there, so go ahead and throw it. He threw it, man. It hurt him.
It's almost thrown into a blanket of coverage, isn't it? You talk about the best defenders you have are the defensive backs. 6 of them on the field. You're almost asking for trouble, and that's exactly what they ran into. Ended up throwing a pick 6.
Yeah, 6 defenders and 6 points. Greg Joseph on for the extra point. This is up and good. It brings him within a point now. It's 14-13. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Fields it right around the goal line. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. That should give him a spark. He's across the 40 to the 43. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. But what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here on the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn it into an interception. They'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. The tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. A toss running left. This is Penny. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll toss it to Penny. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll run wide side here with Penny. And he only manages a couple here, down to about the 38-yard line.
Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down. They'll run with Penny. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration.
So the drive stays alive after the 4th down conversion. 1st and 10 inside the 30.
Leaves it for Penny. And they'll get him down inside the red zone at the 14. It's also a gain of 14. 1st down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Shoves him away.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling. Held it to an okay gain.
9 yards on the play there. They will set him up 1st and goal.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a 1st down. A nice, consistent game.
Here's Smith. Out to his left. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Geno Smith taking it in from 2 yards out as his guys are able to extend their lead.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And with that, the lead is up to 8. A 10-play drive that time. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. Second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
Cousins throw pulled in by Jefferson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Throwing, Cousins. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. But he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. And these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Cousins. And that's incomplete.
Following the play here, now we've got an injury. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. On 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
Cousins. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow.
Darrell Taylor got in there to drop him.
You doing okay over there, partner? Because that's yet another sack in this game that you just had to call. We're not even at halftime yet. No wonder this team has the lead. What an effort by the defense right from the word go. The adjustments at halftime, they're going to have to be big, or this could really get ugly in the second half.
The Vikings send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Well, let's gaze our attention as the offense takes the field on Rashad Penny. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football. And they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
60 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Smith now to throw. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
First down, Seattle.
Now Smith.
They'll get this out wide to Penny.
Oh, again.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Complete to Rashad Penny.
All defense is worried that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
It's one play at a time, baby.
Second down and 5.
Now Geno. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
Picked off by Chandon Sullivan.
And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you meant to the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked them off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared, had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
Following the interception, Cousins. And that'll be incomplete.
But they certainly knew their challenge as this series began, and they got to stop on play number 1. Goal now, get 2 more stops and limit the damage to a field goal.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Cousins. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. The 40, 30, the 20, 10, 5. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. Big boy earning his lunch. That's what you call rumbling with the ball, Charles.
Big man with football. He wasn't just earning lunch, Brandon. He was earning dinner. He was
midnight snack.
Everything that you could possibly do, he did it on that play to pick up the ball and go.
Now Myers for the extra point. And the lead is up to 15 now. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown.
Jason Blair is to kick off for Seattle.
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. From the 10. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Cousins. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball is squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
The good news, they kept the ball. Bad news, it's 3rd and long. Cousins to throw it. That is caught by Thielen. Taking it right down Broadway. The 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, 94 yards. And the Vikings are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. So from back deep in their home territory, all the way into the end zone. Do you think they expected to score on that one?
I'm not sure they expected to score, but they also showed that they're not averse to taking a little bit of a risk there, right? Taking a chance, because the normal call is take care of the football,
Be safe.
Be safe.
Oh, this is blocked. This is going the other way. But he will not be able to bring this one back, in the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
I know it's easy to kind of shrug off a blocked extra point, but this game is shaping up to be a tight one. The second half, this could prove crucial.
Yeah, we might look back on this one. We'll have to wait and see. Following the botch PAT, they're set to kick this one away. And he elects not to bring this one out as his guys will take over at the 25. We'll get another look at Seattle's offense. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the Plague did on the last one.
Okay, ready?
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On 2nd down, it's Walker. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. Now is Geno. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards, the final tally.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down, that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Geno now to throw. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
To Bill Disley. It's a gain of 5.
Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Working with 2nd and 5 now. Throwing is Smith. Dumps that off to Penny as running back. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Now Geno on 1st down. Uses the stiff arm. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. So that's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down.
But it certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the 1st half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the 2nd half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Right back to him for 10 more and a 1st.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. From the red zone now, Smith. They'll roll him out right. He'll get that complete to Parkinson. And he'll be taken down after a pickup of about 7 as the clock will stop here for the 2-minute warning. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Let's go.
They'll fake it. Now Smith. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. And the Vikings pick up the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. In their locker room, they've got a sign that says defense wins championships. And Charles, they pointed to that this week, said that has to be us. Looking good early.
I like how you saw that because of the bold letters, right? You saw the emphasis that they place on that and what they believe in. And for them, it's every single snap. So it's not just a matter of getting to the quarterback and knocking the ball free. They're trying to read when that ball is going to come free. As soon as those hands separate to throw the ball, they want to be there and have a chance to knock it out.
Cousins now after the fumble recovery. And that one going to come up short. Low throw. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think he might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
On 2nd and 10. Cousins. Catch is made here by Irv Smith Jr. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and now we'll send them back to the drawing board.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll throw again. Cousins setting up the screen for Cook. They find some open. There he goes, right side. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one good for 37 yards.
That's why you call a screen. You want to catch a defense over-committing. Plenty of space available, and that matched up perfectly. What a convoy he got downfield to pick up big yardage on that play.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
First and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost.
And he fires one that's intercepted.
Jordan Brooks with it. And the Seahawks are going to get the football here at their own 30-yard line.
Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made before. Didn't happen to get it completed in this case.
DK Metcalf for the Seattle offense about set to take over once again.
He's up over 100 yards, has the touchdown. He's a big-time receiver in this league, so the question becomes, how do you limit him going forward?
Well, you know the guys trying to cover him, they haven't had a whole lot of success thus far, and while they will still accept the challenge, maybe you have to change your focus. You have to get after the quarterback a little bit, disrupt his timing, because right now it feels like pitch and catch. Make sure he's not able to have clear sight lines to him, and maybe that'll slow him down.
And this is not the guy you want to let play pitch and catch. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Off of play action. Here's Smith. Steps away. And now here's another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks.
And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
First up, though, let's run through the next-gen stats for the Seahawks in that first half. And it's been the passing game that's been the story. They have feasted on this secondary to the tune of 200-plus yards already through 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they too were able to take advantage of a soft secondary, as both of these two teams really threw the ball at will in that first half. With both of these offenses having their way, it's not likely they'll need to be doing a whole lot at halftime. But the defenses are definitely in need of some adjusting. And for the call of the second half, let's go back out to Brandon and Charles.
Yeah, Coach, certainly no shortage of action in those first 2 quarters. Definitely got to work on my touchdown calls, so we'll see how much voice I have left for the second half here.
The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play.
From the 10. And able to to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. And the Vikings set to go on offense to begin the third quarter. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
On third down, Cousins. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to gallop the football, but you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away, and it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This is fielded at the 27. A good kick that time, but also a pretty good 15-yard return. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. Now it's Smith off the bootleg, rolling to his right. He's going to get this complete here to lock it. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Play action. It's Smith. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. There's a Darius Smith there getting in and bringing him to the ground.
Darius Smith switched teams, but never left the NFC North, going from Green Bay to Minnesota in the offseason. Had a back injury in 2021, but 26 sacks in 2 seasons as a Packer prior to that.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Another try after the 1st down sack. Smith. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
What's not cool about the game there on 2nd down, that was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Daniil Hunter able to drop in that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession.
And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a 1st down.
has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. To throw, Cousins. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Cousins. And that is incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Well, a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. And my goodness, another interception. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. I think it's safe to say this is a game he's not going to forget anytime soon, Charles. 3 interceptions.
It's rare that we see 3 interceptions by one team, let alone by an individual. And I think that after the second one, he's probably telling his teammates, any ball that's in the air, it's going to be mine. And that turned out to be true.
And now out comes Minnesota. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. Oh, the jet sweep to start the drive. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. The tackle there by Quandre Diggs.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there, all 11 guys on defense, diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. 43 yards on the ground for him so far. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Cousins here on the bootleg. He'll buy some time right, and that is incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Cousins to throw for it on 4th. And this is caught, but they say out of bounds. That would have been a 1st down, but he couldn't stay in, and as a result, they're going to have to give up the football. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. He lets it fly for Lockett. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, 65 yards. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, they went play action there and set it up nicely for him. I mean, he can flat fly, and they hit him downfield.
And it doesn't take much to create that extra bit of space that a guy of his speed needs. If you go play action, all you want is just a moment where the guy's covering, take their attention somewhere else, and then he's by him. And once he's by him, there's no catching him. As they always like to say, if a receiver's even to a defensive back, that means he's leaving.
Unless that DB is Charles Davis, right?
In that case, he left me a long time ago.
Come on now.
Trust me.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And he's been been a busy man. 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. From the 10. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. And a drive that stalled out last time. Went for it on fourth. Didn't get it. How does that translate here? I would imagine momentum's with the defense.
Definitely with the defense, because anytime anyone goes for it on fourth down, that's telling you as a defense that you can't stop us. We don't think that you can. And when you actually do, it may put a little dent in the confidence of the offense the next time they hit the field.
Yeah, we'll see if they can bring that pride to the offense this go around. On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense.
And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10.
Cut, ready? Hot go. Ready.
After the interception, here's Smith.
And nearly another interception. That would have been his 3rd of the game, but this time he couldn't hang on.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Now Geno. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, 3rd quarter. But that, not the smartest of throws.
We agree with you on that one, because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now, if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
And the Vikings now heading onto the field.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this, because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Quentin Jefferson, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's pulled in at the 32.
So a good punt there, but a very strong 14-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10.
And out now come the Seahawks. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. The sack coming from big Dalvin Tomlinson. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Another try after the 1st down sack. Smith Under pressure, they got him again. In there to get him yet again. That is his third sack tonight. They can't figure him out. Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Throwing now is Geno. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on the punt for Seattle. And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And now out comes Minnesota. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
On 2nd and 12, Cousins. Oh, that'll be incomplete. He took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Geno down to throw. And that is incomplete here.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
Call it a gain of 4, and we'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised him a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped him well short of a 1st down.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt, certainly not what he wanted. And it will be Vikings ball 1st and 10. Throwing is Cousins. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And now off to the races down the right side. And he'll be brought down at about the 24-yard line.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Cousins. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up. Again, it's Cousins. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Osborne. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Cousins on 3rd and 2. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We won 6. The kick by Joseph is good, and that will cut the lead down to 13. So his 3rd field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And 7s, and probably even 8s. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear. They want to close this gap.
And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still, they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming.
Hurry, hurry! Hurry, hurry! Ready?
They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. Uses the stiff arm.
77 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. On the draw, this is Penny. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's going to get this all the way down to the Vikings 11. A terrific run there by Penny. 57 yards. And a guy that can change the game, shows you a glimpse of it right there, taking the ball down inside the red zone.
It just tells you how tough it is for a defense. You just hold on all game and essentially hold your breath. Will they break a big one on us at any point during the game? It just happened right there.
Ready, ready!
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Now it's Smith. Eluding the pressure right. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds.
2nd down, ball on the 3. 1st down marker at the 1-yard line.
Steps away to his, feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7.
Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
They'll fake it. Now Smith. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings.
Well, we may not see it behind the big play sheet that they like to use, but I bet there's a big grin on the defense coordinator's face. A corner blitz, what we often call a cat blitz. Usually they disguise it, Brandon. You're up on a receiver. It looks like you're going to bump and run with him, press coverage, and then he just takes off straight for the quarterback, and someone comes behind him to pick up the receiver.
And as a former member of the secondary,
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even
further.
So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away.
From the 10. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
And out now come the Vikings. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
78 yards rushing for him in the ball game now and 14 carries. They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all living on defense. Able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Cousins. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time is run out on this 3rd quarter of play. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Another try after the 1st down sack. Cousins. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. He started out having some troubles back in the 1st half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter, and find their way open.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. And it's taken in at the 9. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. There are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
Now Geno on 1st down. He hits his target, Lockett. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Kevin O'Connell clearly unhappy with that call. And he's thrown that red challenge flag out on the field. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So score one for Kevin O'Connell. His decision to throw the challenge flag, a good one. To throw again on 2nd down. Smith. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he's only able to work this from the 8 to the 10 for a pickup of 2. The offense on 3rd down tonight, not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. This complete to Lockett. And he is going to lose yardage here.
He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Off of play action, here's Smith. Rolling to his left. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Darius Smith, his second sack of the night.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
On fourth down, Smith. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Seahawks go for it, but can't convert. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. First down, here's the run with Cook. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Cousins. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now Cousins. And that is incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one. Not to have another turnover on his ledger.
Joseph's got it, and that will cut the lead down to 13. So kind of disappointing there. I mean, yes, they get the 3 with a starting field position like that. 3's not what you're banking on.
No, and you just have to wonder if you can afford to let chances like that continue to pass you by. You've got to find ways to get the ball to the end zone and put 6s on the scoreboard.
Taking it about the 1. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Seahawks take back over. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Cousins now after the fumble recovery. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Cousins to throw it. And this one is incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and it's going to be a 1st down. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Vikings have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
I know Carl Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listen in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that in the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Joseph tees it up to
kickoff following the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. He's at the 40. Past the 20. 10. 5. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Seahawks. A big-time special teams play here in the fourth quarter to extend their lead.
And coaches preach it all the time. If you can score on special teams, your chances of winning the game really jump up in a big way. Now, I'll let our analytics friends quantify it and give us the exact numbers, but that's what coaches talk about all the time. That extra momentum, that extra bounce you get from a special team score.
I don't have any analytics friends. Those are your friends.
I'll claim them.
They'll try and run it here. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more.
32.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. The Vikings head out to take over once again. They trail by 2 scores in the fourth, and their defense did its job getting the fumble recovery. Time to see what this offense has left in the tank. On 1st and 10, Cousins. They still can't get it. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw, Cousins. And this one complete to Smith. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys have been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They have to like the position that they are in. Fourth quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Play action. It's Smith. Sliding out of the pocket. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties. And he's able to knock that one away.
Now a play fake, and it's Smith. They'll roll him out right. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Well, here's a classic second guess. I thought he had a better chance of a positive play if he just ran it himself. The coverage downfield was really good. That one falls incomplete.
On 3rd down, here's Walker. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. Here we go on 4th, Smith. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. And I am not sure, partner, there what the mindset was to go for it. I don't know.
And some teams just feel that possession is the key to everything. They just want to have the football in their hands. No matter how it goes to the other team, they just don't trust doing that. So they say, let's go for it and try and finish it ourselves.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 45.
He'll start by handing it off to Dalvin Cook. They'll get this up to the 47 and brought down there.
You know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough one.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down.
Darrell Taylor make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long.
They'll drop to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again.
Darrell Taylor drops him again for the 2nd straight play, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
The Vikings send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. He'll look to set up his blockers. It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
They've got a chance now to put this game away following that last defensive stop and punt.
Let's go now.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They begin with a run by Penny. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I'm sure that that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground, keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
And slow going there, so only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
On 3rd down, Penny. And they'll bring him down 1 yard shy after a pickup of 4. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the 1st down, close it out.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on the punt for Seattle. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
Minnesota now ready for their next possession. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Out of his end zone, Cousins. His throw incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as he'll stop him well short of the yellow line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. catch it, but he's out of bounds. And the throw took him beyond the sideline, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. So now, just like that, things change dramatically. It's first and goal. Throwing now is Geno. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield. But when push came to shove, they stood their ground. Now they're likely to force a field goal attempt.
Now Smith on third and goal. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down.
Defense.
And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1
Automatic
yard
first
line.
down.
First and goal from the 1 yard line. Costly penalty.
Throwing is Smith. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the night.
And the Seahawks have put this one to bed here in the fourth quarter.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now Myers for the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns and 21 points. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive.
And it's DK Metcalf who finishes things off with a touchdown reception.
Well, this is a touch crawl here. They've got the big lead. Now they're going for the jugular with the onside kick. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. The risk reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play. And here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
From the 38, Cousins. Open man is Osborne. He's got him. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Cousins now. Setting up the screen for Cook.
And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackled him for just a short gain.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. To the air again, it's Cousins.
And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson.
A great play there. 26 yards.
And the Vikings have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Joseph connects on the extra point.
And the lead will be cut down to 14. The drive summary that time, 5 plays.
And it was all capped off by Justin Jefferson's touchdown reception.
2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, It was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie.
Oh, he caught it. Just couldn't get the feet down. Couldn't get that toe tap sequence, right? I was ready to call him tippy toes if that one was completed.
Back to the air, Smith on second down. And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need.
And the Vikings are right back in this football game.
And give him now 4 interceptions in this game. That's only the 3rd time this has been done since the year 2000.
I think that tells you how much better teams have gotten at throwing the football. Because if you go all the way back to 1960, 12 times before that, there have been guys who've gotten 4 interceptions or more in a game. I mean, most recently, since 2000, Delta O'Neal and D'Angelo Hall.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Cousins on first down. And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Geno able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Throwing, Cousins. And Cook has it, left side. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. That is caught by Thielen. He'll get it inside the 20. And he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. On the defensive side of the ball, that's the definition of frustrated. You get them to 4th down, and then you allow a chunk play like that in the passing game.
Almost felt as if that play was drawn up in the dirt on the sideline. They pulled that from a game plan that wasn't this game, and they still made it work.
Cousins again. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that one. They needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
Throwing now, Smith. Dumps that off to Penny as running back.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Now Smith. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Now it's Smith. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Wow, a personal foul at this stage in the fourth. Hard to believe.
Really hard to believe, and now that glow of hope that you had begins to flicker out, doesn't it?
Yep. And this is going to be caught, that they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
On second down, here's Petty. He will push his way down to about the 14. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout, as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. Petty on the toss right. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. On fourth down, Smith. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Cousins to throw. Able to find Thielen. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Cousins. Adam Thielen, back-to-back catches. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter play. Now Cousins. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Here's Cousins. Complete. So their final drive comes up empty, and with that, the ball game is over.
What a finish in this one, Charles. You know, this group, they come in, they have to fight a hostile atmosphere every snap. They get the late score, they get the victory, and that flight home, it's going to be a little sweeter after this one.
And Brandon, just like you, I was fired up for that last sequence. How about that? Wouldn't you have loved to have been in the huddle when they were mounting that game-winning drive? Big-time moment. No one shied away from it. They tuned out the crowd, kept their heads, and executed the way they needed to earn that win.